That direction. Dude, this is the wrong time to have a fire. You just had two massive stadiums let out. Hey guys, WheatyWaffle here today, and we are back in the city of Westfield looking at the beautiful new leisure district we built in the last part. The one thing that's not really beautiful is all of this traffic. We hit play. All of this traffic we have. It's just, there's too many interchanges or on and off ramps. There's too many connections. Like, there's just a lot going on in this one spot. So in the comments of the last video, you guys gave me some great suggestions about doing some kind of like oval about or some kind of just roundabout-ish thing that could go here to kind of help alleviate some of the traffic we have and some of these issues. So we're going to quickly jump into a time lapse. I'm going to show you the build for that. I've worked on it for a few hours now. I actually even drew it out on a piece of paper till we got, I think, the perfect interchange. So we're going to jump into that time lapse and at the end I'll kind of review what I've done. All right, and this is what the end result turned into. So we have this like oval about type thing. I did go through and just try to decorate and make it look like it fit into this part of the city. It does kind of feel like new development, which works really well just because all of this around it is new development. But what we have now is this highway coming off and kind of branching into two separate areas. So we have the one that goes down this direction towards the airport, and then we also have the other branching off that comes over this direction and feeds into this roundabout. And then this roundabout comes over, and you'll notice I even kind of reworked this section here just to kind of make everything run a bit smoother. So now instead of having this entrance for this area directly connect to this road here, which was a pretty short connection and was actually closer to where this roundabout was, I actually moved it underneath of the train line and connected it up in this way. It's a little bit different. I don't know if you would actually ever see something like this, but it feels a bit over-engineered, but it seems to be working pretty well. The real test is really going to be in a few months now. What is March? I think it's in August of this year. We're going to have actually a game here at the baseball park and a game here at the basketball arena. So there's going to be a number of things happening here, and there's going to be tons of traffic trying to get into this area. In addition to the roundabout and all of that, I did extend this connection. So before if you remember, this was actually an underground tunnel most of the way. Now it actually sits above ground pretty much entirely and then comes over here and does go underground at this point to come out here, but it does, as a bridge, kind of connect to both sides of the road. And the reason for this is all of these roads here are actually a highway, so no one's able to use or walk along these roads. Someone also suggested in the comments to bridge this road over. It's a little bit strange just considering like how far this bridge goes in this little curve here, but I was thinking we could come in here and just throw in maybe 1 or 2 additional. Do we have any garbage over here? We've got a garbage center down here. It says the connection's good and we have decent processing, but like, why not really beef it up if we can? Why don't we, let's anarchy this underneath. Does that hit the road any? Actually, it's perfect. The shed just barely makes it. So we're going to put in a recycling center back here. And I also want to put in, where's our healthcare? I want to put in a few of these incineration plants, or maybe just 2 of them. It'll be fine. We can do them just like this. Just so that there's a few other services back here. It does bring a little bit of extra traffic this way, but I think it's equally going to serve like St. John's area as well as like Linden Park and all of those places, which I think is fantastic. So let's get this watered up really quickly, and then I'm just going to throw in maybe 1 or 2 trees just so that it doesn't seem so sparse in the middle there. Oh man, and people are even like using this pathway, which is great. Where are you trying to go? Who are you? This is Taylor. She's a highly educated senior. She lives at the Foggy residence. She is unemployed and she is going home. Taylor, where is home for you? Where's the Foggy residence? Oh, home's down here. Oh, I guess you're coming over here and then you're getting in your car or the bus. Oh, that's great. Either way, I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're moving and grooving. Now that we have this all figured out and it's kind of holding up, we just kind of need to wait until we get to August for us to actually be able to see this in action. So what we're going to do while we wait is I want to finally address woodland. So we've got this wood industry right here. It works. It's useful. I connected this road in and it's doing what it's supposed to do, which is great. But I think we could be doing more with woodland. Right now we're at 3 stars, and really what we need to get higher is some more workers. There's just not enough spaces here for people to be getting the work done. So let's just grab a dirt road really quickly. This is gonna like really mess some things up, and it's just gonna be what it is. We're gonna have to deal with it. We're going to actually move both this big storage unit, this factory. What I want to do is I want to move all of these over to this side road really quickly, and then we're going to try to rework this entire area to be a bit more, this is a waste transfer facility. Okay, that can stay. We'll keep that. Just to be a bit more efficient and also get some more workers in here. Okay, so we got rid of the buses. So let's go ahead and just get rid of this road here. We're also going to get rid of this road here. I can't move this yet, so we will need to put a road back here. For now, it'll just be dirt. I want to have this come straight out. Let's actually just do this with a bit of measuring. So we'll take this out 30. We'll take this out 40 like we just had. We will take this straight on over as well. Now, everything north of this road is going to be trees. I don't want to mess with any of this up here. This is all going to be trees. There's going to be nothing zoned in that space. But what we can do is we can take this road here and we can have one coming off and one going on from this one section. What happens if I just go like this? And then I flip it. Like, is that okay? And then we can even, let's just take these 2 middle pieces up. Yeah. Yeah. There we go. And then we're going to limit turning here. You just have to, if you're coming off, you have to go this direction. And we will turn this into a 2-laner. See, I over-engineered this whole section, and that means I'm allowed to under-engineer this whole section. Let's just move some of these trees that are in the way. So now, what we are going to quickly do is let's jump in here. We're going to actually clear out all of the trees, including the ones we just moved. We're going to clear all of these. And we'll clear the ones that are in this little pocket, because I want to actually match them to these trees we've been using now that I have a tree brush. I'm doing this slowly, kind of like one section at a time, instead of biting off more than I can chew. Okay, bring this down, bring this strength down a bit, just so that it's not as crazy. We'll bring it all the way through, and we're just going to fill it right back in like we had before. But instead, with the trees that are kind of our brush for this city. And this is just a very wooded area, which I think is great. Okay, great. So this is now covered, and it now matches. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, so now I got to start laying things out. With this road having an entrance and exit to the highway, I kind of want you to be able to come off of here, and right here would be our main barracks building, which is this building here. How far back does this go? It goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You know what? Why am I doing that? We can just put the road down. And then from there, just turn it around. Okay. So now we have this main building. You come off, you come in, and you can go right here. Now I want to put right next to this a parking lot. Only because it'll make the actual entertainment and like land value of this area higher. Since it's a park, it's not ever going to be needed by any of the people who work here. Okay, great. So now we brought these roads back, and now we have this extra access road here in the back. So right across from our forestry main building, and I don't think we have any of these yet. No. Can we fit the barracks in here? Oh, we can. Okay, so we're going to put a barracks in here. We'll put it right off of the road, or should we put it facing this way? No, I like it facing straight on in. So now we have this workers' barracks. The workers' barracks increases the work efficiency of the workers in this industry area. Let's bring this road here, straight along the back. Here we go, because now these can also go along the edges here. Okay, hold on. Let's turn all of these. All right, so we're going to put these. Can I fit this one facing? Ooh, no, I can't. Okay, so here. We need to move this again. And then we need to move this a bit forward. And then we can move this along here. So now we have 3 production fields here. Let's take our super large log building, put this here. I want to put all of the tree production on this side as well as some of the storage. And then I want to put the larger buildings that are polluting, like these biomass pellet plants, on the other side of the road. That way they're surrounded by highway on all sides, and the places that are closer to the residential housing is a little bit quieter. So let's actually back that up now that we have the road connected in this way. And we're going to send a road over top. Okay, and then this is going to come back down. Let's go out 8 units like we did before to the ground. Go ahead and send this road out. Okay, so now we have an overpass, which means we don't have to even interact with any of this. If people are coming here to pick up goods, they can then immediately cross over this overpass and come over here to store them. So let's actually switch this. This can then live back here. Oh, beautiful. There we go. So now we have this living back this way. So we've got this large log yard. Say that 5 times fast. A large log yard, which actually is set to empty, but because of how much we're producing, is staying pretty full, pretty much all the time. Okay, so we've got a small log yard, which is set to fill. This here set to fill can then feed all of the sawmills. So we've got 1 sawmill here. So now we've got all of our sawmills in one area. All of these are going to then be producing, I believe they produce planed timber. Yep. Planed timber. So then we can move our planed timber storage facility, I think, directly across from these 3 areas here. So we might even move this over just one more. And then we still have some room to put some trees and some pathways and things like that. But now we've got we've got a place to pick up the goods, to then deliver to these 3 locations, to then drop them off in this warehouse. Now, what does this do? This creates paper. I think we could put this directly next to it. It's nice and big, but against the highway and right behind it, I mean, all of these are recycling centers and a storage facility, so I don't think any of that's going to be an issue. So if we put this along this road, what is this? This is our biomass pellet plant. Then directly across the street from that biomass pellet plant, we can put our paper storage right here. I actually want to switch out this paper storage. I know there's collected resources, it's okay. Let's switch this to a larger storage unit. We'll do one here so we can put a path around it as well as some trees. All right, so then this is going to be for paper because this is producing our paper. Then let's change some of these that we have here. So we have these small tree plantations from the very beginning when we first started this, but we've also unlocked the medium tree plantations. So let's remove all 3 of our smalls and change all of them to be these larger ones. All right, so all of these are going to be producing beech trees. We got our barracks here. People can come off and onto the highway from here. They can stop into any of these areas. I think we will also add in, we have 3 sawmills. We have this. We don't have any of these things. What does this do? It's just an additional storage unit. Okay, let's add, I think everything's filling up. So why don't we add 2 of these back to back? Again, these have pretty high noise to them. So we want to keep those away from where all of our people are living. And we'll put in 2 more of these. And I think if I just anarchy this in here, it's not actually going to interrupt anything. All right, both of these will set to empty as well. They can be emptying. They're just going to be holding all of these resources that will then be put into these different sawmills. We're actually going to be producing more than we were before, which is not a bad thing. And then let's scoot this over just 1, and we can then kind of squeeze in some pathways. Actually, I almost want to rework this again. Hold on, let's back this up. Because we're producing such high numbers of some of these goods. Let's put 2 of these next to each other so that we can really start kind of producing some of those goods. And then we can, let's leave 3 on this backside too. So if we backed this up, brought it further out, 1, 2, 3. I'm just now also realizing I've left this music on. I did not mean to do that. All right, so let's bring this path all the way through and around. And then we're going to come in and just add in some trees. But first, let's put in swipe this with the tree brush we have. I do want to kind of limit this and not get it on areas that we've already worked on, like what I just did. So let's bring this back down, remove some of those, and we can bring this back up. We'll put in some additional trees here. Just kind of make sure all of this is heavily treed. So I think this is as much as we can do at this moment. I put in some trees as well as we've got an additional connecting path over this way and some fences just to kind of keep everything moving. I do want to make some small changes to the roads we have. So this area here, we have this 3-lane that's mainly to help service people getting onto the highway. And now that we've moved this entrance and exit a little bit further away, I think all of this is going to become just a 4-lane pedestrian, a 4-lane avenue. So let's go ahead and we're going to throw this in, and then I'm going to have to go back in and make some small changes because of not wanting to ruin some of the things we've just built. Let's go and just like kind of wiggle this road where we need to. All right, and now we're all set up there. Now the traffic here, it might get a little dicey at times. We're gonna have to keep an eye on it. Oh, we need to water that set of trees. We have enough space for 550. Let's go ahead and add in an additional sawmill. Nope, not sawmill. An additional biomass pellet plant. Let's put one more of those in here. What does that push us to? 738. There we go. So it just needed a second to kind of get itself together. So I'm going to let this sit, and we're going to wait until this gets to 550 workers and we reach level 4. Just realizing I never re-added in the factory that I deleted. So we need to put this to paper. And now all of these will have a place to export their paper to. It's a slow grind. We're at 378. It's slowly creeping up, but not very fast. I'm hoping that this kind of picks up a bit quicker here any second. Actually, another change I'm going to go ahead and make while we wait. Let's go ahead and just like really bump up the amount of goods that we are producing. I mean, we could do, like 1, 2, we could do 2 of these. We're going to be overproducing for a while, and I think that's okay. Part of what makes me comfortable with overproducing is it's just going to make it so that the number of jobs available here is really, really high. And when that number of jobs is super high, more people are going to come here to work. I mean, we're not even filling half of the employment that we could for this area. So this is slowly creeping up. Now we got 401. Let's see if we can get this to 550. All right, I've been watching this for probably 20 minutes now. It's still kind of creeping up, but very, very slowly. So we might just have to let this sit. But I wanted to make sure we didn't miss the games that we have that are both about to start here, both at our basketball court and at our baseball stadium. So for both of these games, they're supposed to be starting on the 31st of this month. Oh, here we go. So now this is all filled out. We've got people here, cheerleaders, and then you can't see into this stadium here, but this is going as well. Ugly oil pumps. Oh, you'll have to get over it. Sorry, Rosemary Brown. So both of these are going. What I want to see is now that we have games happening at both of these facilities, how is the traffic going to hold up once they release? And if we look, we're actually doing pretty decent for this whole area. This particular intersection here is red, but it's mainly because people stop for the light, not because it's not able to clear out. Like the light just changed here, and you'll notice pretty much all of the cars are able to get out. I'd say anything past this truck is brand new, so like even these are still getting through. So I don't think that's really too big of a deal. As well as this area, this is a little bit congested. I think I might go through, and once I rework some of the bus lines, create a one-way loop in this area, and that might help the traffic a little bit. We're resting around 77, but I don't think any of that is now coming from this area anymore, which is fantastic. So let's kind of just hang out here and we'll see how these go. Okay, so both of these games are actually starting to let out, and at its peak, both of these stadiums actually reached close to about 700 people each. All of these people are flooding out of the stadiums. A lot are heading, look at this crowd. A lot are heading right, they're on their bikes, biking down the steps into the subway. There are a decent number taking their cars, but many of them are heading down that direction. Dude, this is the wrong time to have a fire. You just had 2 massive stadiums let out. I am realizing I have a on-ramp here and an on-ramp here. And I didn't mean for that to be the case. I think one of these is actually supposed to be an off-ramp. Wait, on-ramp? We would need an off-ramp, so it could come down and loop off. Alright, I need to fix that. Let's go ahead and just add in a quick connection here so that we're able to get people up and onto the highway just pretty quickly. So let's go ahead and just bring this up. We'll bring it up to about 13. and then we'll just connect it back on. It's nothing fancy or special, but it's just enough to get people back on that direction to head down to the airport. I'm trying to think about what I want to do. I don't actually want to leave this connection if we don't need it. It's just a little redundant, so people can actually just come back around and get on this way. We do want people to be able to come off of this part of the highway though, so we could have this come off and loop down. All right, there we go. So now we have that corrected. Let's go ahead and hit play on here, and now people can actually use this highway as an exit. No wonder the traffic here is going so well. It's because I don't actually have it set up correctly. Well, now they all actually have an entrance and an exit right within this one area. It's not ideal since all of those connections are not right next to each other like they typically would be, but it does allow for, I think, better movement throughout this whole area. So we'll see if this gets used a bit more, and if that causes any issues with our traffic. Let's check on Woodland. I think, yeah, we're at 411, so I'm realizing that I think we're going to need to get some more people into this city. There's just not a huge demand for industry right now, and so what I think we're going to do is we're actually going to leave this part here. We've gotten the highway updated. We saw that it was able to handle the traffic from 2 stadiums letting out at once. I'm curious if that's going to be any different now that we have this extra exit, but then again, since this is an exit off the highway, I don't think it's going to be too big of a deal. We will maybe make one small change here just to kind of help with traffic flow, at least for this initial junction. Guys, thank you again so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you enjoyed this part, go ahead and give a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, go ahead and do so. And if you want, leave me some comments and suggestions on how I can expand this industry. I think other than more people, if you have any ideas, I would love to hear them. And let me know if you think that this particular junction, I don't even know what a name of this would be, but this kind of weird curved circular junction thing is the right way to go, and if you have any ideas of how we can improve it. Now I can go in and maybe fix some of these small mistakes, but otherwise I think this is looking pretty good. Thank you guys so much again, and I will see you in the next one.